What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that bell so you get notification every time I go live and anytime I post a video. If you've been here before and you know I'm about to put that fire out, consider hitting that like button so we can get to the algorithm and more people can see this content. Let's get into this. The question for today is this: is it possible for men to course correct when it comes to females who move outside of their femininity, right? When it comes to females who aren't naturally in their femininity, is it possible for men to course correct, right? A certain caliber of a man to course correct when it comes to these types of women? Or is it too late for these types of women? Should we leave these types of women where they at? We're going to watch this clip from the Lapeef Network on King Talk, right? And shout out to Shannon Rawls, right? I'm going to play a clip of him speaking about this, and I'm going to break this all the way down. Let's get into this.
Girl who lives here in Los Angeles, down in the Arts District of LA, she went out with an alpha male, and she said suddenly her feminism flew out of her body because he took her on a date and was taking care of shit. And right up, they bounced around. They went club to club, and at the last one, he had to go to the bathroom. He turned around and said, "Oh, order what you want." Gave her the credit card. She said she was just gushing. She said all of a sudden she became feminine suddenly, and everybody talked about that little clip. But that's an important clip because men need to realize that you can course correct women. It's in their nature to be what they're fighting against right now. And despite the fact that women are not taught to value men, fellas, when she gets a scent of you and your elevated self, oh man, she ain't gonna go back to Pookie. She ain't gonna want to go back. Not when she sees what she can get with a man like you. And she will want to adjust. Now, I get it. Unfortunately, there's gonna be some women that will not adjust. James, she'll just have to be homeless. We're gonna relegate her to the homeless club, James. But there's gonna be other ones out there that's gonna get their shit together. But only, fellas, if you show them what they can potentially get in an amazing man that you could be. So your job as men is to double your income. I want you to elevate your wardrobe, improve your vocabulary, and become more well-rounded as a man. So that when women come in contact with you at the gas station, at the club, at work, at the mall, at Target, standing in the grocery line, wherever you go, when she sees a guy like you, she's like, what the hell? And then you can be like he is, letting her know what she needs to be if she wants to fuck with you. Right off the rip. So yes, fellas, you can course correct these women.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that. Shout out to Shannon Rawls, right? And again, shout out to the Lapeef Network. He said you can course correct when it comes to these females, right? Who normally operate outside of their feminine energy, right? Right? He says you can course correct. Now let me say this. There's a lot of truth in what he said, right? There's a lot of truth in what he said. However, from my experience and a lot of guys' experiences who I've interacted with, who I've watched online, so on and so forth, that attitude from her, that act of femininity all of a sudden, when you move a certain way as a guy or when you're a certain caliber of a guy, it's only temporary. That attitude that you will get out of a female when you're a certain caliber of a guy, or when you move a certain way as a guy, when you're dealing with a female who normally operates outside of her feminine energy, it's only temporary. It is rare for you to quote unquote course correct and it be a long-term fix. It is rare for you to quote unquote course correct and it be a long-term fix, right? Based on my many experiences, right? I've been in relationships. I've been married twice. I've dealt with a lot of women from different cities, from different states, what have you, right? I've dealt with a lot of women. And in my neck of the woods, I'm a guy who has had over the years, let's just say, a certain level of status, right? A certain level of status. And from my experiences early on, when I've dealt with many of these women, right? Other guys may have had a hard time getting them in control or getting inside of them or whatever the case may be. They get with me, and I don't have an issue or a problem getting them in line, right? Or getting them to move a certain way. And I get to bragging to my family, bragging to the boys, everything putting them all over social media. We out doing this, we out doing that, or we at the house chilling or doing our thing, whatever the case may be. And I'm bragging. But let me tell you, give it time, give it weeks, give it months, sometimes give it a year or two. A lot of times, her true colors will come back out. Her true colors will come back out. Now, I'm speaking from experience, and the pool of women that I'm talking to is very large. It's very large. These is all kinds of women from different walks of life, whatever the case may be. Now, you have some good females out there, right? You have some good females out there. But from my experience, you can course correct them early on. Early on, you be like, yeah, them other guys couldn't handle her. They couldn't this, they couldn't that, but now she with a real one. And she acting right, right? You be like, she is with a real one right now. And she is acting right. And I've had other homeboys, I've had old heads tell me, yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. We'll see how long that lasts. And yeah, right, man, she with me now. None of that ain't going down. She gonna act right. She know what's up. And let me tell you, you let the time pass you by. And each time, I must say, them old heads, they was right. Them old heads, they was right. It was temporary. She moved that way for a short period of time, sometimes longer than other times. You would get one that might can act right or move a certain way for a decent period of time. But in most cases, she goes back to who she is, right? Even though it's in their nature to be feminine, right? The society, their family, their friends, social media, movies, TV, whatever, music. Many of these women, if they're not a woman who normally operates in their feminine energy, even when they get with this quote unquote right guy or whatever, a lot of times they still go back to who they are or who they've become. They go back to that, right? So shout out to Shannon. There's a lot of truth in what he said, but it's only temporary. We got to look at possibilities versus probabilities. Is it possible for a chick to turn things around and start acting right? It's possible. Is it probable? No, it's not. It's not probable. She's only gonna move a certain way for a short period of time. That's why you have all these divorces. Many of these women, they moved a certain way early on to get the ring and to get the status and whatever, get the house, get the kids, whatever the case may be. And then they flip back to who they really are. That's why you even got a lot of professional, whether you're talking athletes, whether you're talking celebrities, Whether you're talking men who make 6 figures, 7 figures on up, online and in person, you see them having a hard time bonding long term with a lot of these women. It's because early on, yeah, they are that type of guy who the women say they're looking for. But you give it time, a woman is going to revert back to who she truly is, right? I was talking to one of my partners earlier. I said the devil has a lot of our women. The devil has a lot of our women. And they just brainwashed. Their spirit is gone. We ain't battling flesh and blood. It's the spirit we're battling, right? That's in the Bible. We are battling the spirits. And a lot of these women just can't get right. They can't act the way that the Bible describes a woman should act or a wife should act. They just can't do it long term. I don't know what it is. They can do it. I don't know if they don't want to. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But they off. Many of them are off, right? So as far as course correcting, you can do it temporarily for many of them. But for most of them that don't operate in their feminine energy, I would say it's over for them. It's over for them unless you deal with what they're coming with. If you just deal with it, cool. But if you're a man who is expecting a woman to operate a certain way and you come in the picture, I'm telling you, she going to act a certain way temporarily, then she going to change. Now, there are some good women out there still, so don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that there aren't any good women out there. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying a woman who doesn't normally operate in her feminine energy, for the majority of them, it's over. That ship done sailed, right? You're going to have to deal with what you get when you get with one of them. No matter what kind of guy you are, they're going to revert back to who they truly are over a period of time, right? Men, choose wisely. Vet them out right. Choose wisely. Choose a woman who has genuine desire for you. Choose a woman who has genuine desire for you. Right. But that's all I got, guys. Like this video. Share this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I can be off on this. Also subscribe to the channel because we're going to be pumping out some fire. We're about to turn things up in 2024. Believe that. Believe that. And remember, keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.